Hello and welcome back to ERU, the final ERU of the season, where we round up the biggest results and talking points from the continent on the weekend just past. Joining me today, it's Sam Abasaki. How are you, Abba? Welcome aboard.
I'm good, bro. I'm trying to get over the weekend. I don't really want to talk about it too much. But yeah, we move. How are you?
I'm okay. Yeah, that wasn't it just felt like it wasn't really Chelsea's day. At the weekend, but I'm okay. I went to stay with my mum. She's moved into a new house in Yorkshire.
Oh, nice.
So I was moving her in,
nice.
Which was really nice until my sister's dog threw up the entire way home. We drove back from London.
Really?
Threw up for about 4.5 hours, and then my bathroom flooded this morning. So the toilet's flooded. So it's absolute chaos in my life right now. But let's go into the winners, because not so chaotic for Inter Milan, was it, Alba? At the suggestion of Count on Moo.
Yeah, Inter Milan beat Atalanta 2-0 to secure second place in Serie A, their highest finish in the Italian top flight since 2010-2011. The victory also meant that they've recorded their biggest points tally in 10 years, equaling the 82 points that actually got them the title back in 2010 when they were under Jose Mourinho. And the inspiration for their win at Ledea came from an unlikely source. Ashley Young, the Englishman, set up the first goal in the first minute with a delicious cross for Danilo D'Ambrosio's first minute opener. And then he scored an absolute, I don't even know if it was a screamer, if he meant it. It's kind of his speciality now. He whipped it. Goalkeeper had no chance. The commentator didn't even know that he was capable of something like that by the way he sounded. But anyway, the 35-year-old was definitely one of their key players since he's been at Nerazzurri in January. Since January, he's hit 4 goals and 4 assists in 18 league appearances, working out to a goal involvement every 148 minutes. And he was definitely the star man. He took 3 shots, completed 4 dribbles from left wing back, and he created a chance from left wing back also. Marcelo Brozovic also had an excellent game, breaking that Atalanta attack with 7 tackles and interceptions and controlling the tempo with 82 touches and 60 completed passes, second to Darun on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, what a performance from him and from Ashley Young. I would say the defending from Castagno was pretty weak. He let him come inside quite easily. But take nothing away from Ashley Young. As for Atalanta, they sorely missed their key man this season, Josip Ilicic, who was returned to Slovenia for personal reasons. There was lots of speculation about his relationship with his wife, which he quickly put to bed. Some reports have suggested he's suffering from depression, while others reckon he could miss obviously his side's crucial Champions League tie with PSG next week, which would be a massive, massive loss. Before the game, Captain Papu Gomez said how much they were missing the 32-year-old forward, and it did show on the pitch. They were just not quite at their usual cutting best, and also looked more open than usual on the counter-attack as well. They only mustered 1 shot on target all game, particularly poor for a side which averaged nearly 19 shots unmatched this term. I think that's about Man City levels going forward. Their brightest spark was Ruslan Malinovsky, who's had an excellent 2020, who after coming on with 30 minutes remaining, clocked up the most shots of anyone on the pitch with 4, completed 4 dribbles and created a chance. Gasperini will be frustrated that he didn't start him from the outset. Meanwhile, Papu Gomez didn't have his usual fantastic display. He took 2 shots, which was down from his average of 3, completed 1 dribble, down from 2, and made just 1 key pass, down from 3.2 per 90 that he's averaged this term. I would say that's still a useful contribution, but maybe not what we've used to seeing from the 32-year-old who has been unbelievable this year. Gasperini's side now have 9 days to prepare for that mammoth clash with PSG, while Inter play Getafe in the Europa League last 16 on Wednesday. So guys, let us know in the comments whether you think Atalanta have a chance against PSG, who of course might not have Mbappe available, and whether Inter can go all the way in the Europa League. But obviously, the big talking point with Inter at the moment is Conte and speculation that he might leave this summer. I mean, what do you make of that? I mean, obviously you have experience of him managing your club, and are you surprised by this news?
Yeah, I'm definitely surprised. I think Conte has definitely changed the mood and the philosophy around Inter Milan. He's had a successful first season back at Inter, to be honest, and it's kind of like his period at Chelsea where he felt like the board wasn't backing him, and he doesn't shy away from letting them know either via interview or just by his mannerisms on the pitch. And it's interesting because like I said earlier, that's their best tally that they've had since they won the league title. And for them to achieve that, maybe they felt like because of the resources they gave him, he should have achieved more. But at the same time, Juventus outsourced them. Like, they brought in much more players. They had much more options than Conte had. So it's an interesting one. I hope he does stay, because I think if he does have another summer, he's already proven that he can bring in key players. They've got Hakimi coming in. I'm sure he'll be kind of upset if they do see the back of Conte. And I'm sure a lot of other players are looking at that project and thinking that they're definitely in for a chance to dethrone Juventus for the first time in years.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think it would be a massive shame. And also it would do big damage to his reputation as well. He's obviously got such a good reputation for improving players, creating a system that gets the best out of players, but does just seem really difficult to manage off the pitch, particularly with his time at Chelsea and even Juventus coming to an end in quite acrimonious sort of circumstances. So guys, what do you guys see for the future of Conte and Inter Milan this summer? Will Conte leave? And if he does, who should replace him? Let us know in the comments down below, and let's move on to our loser.
So before we move on to our next section, here is a reminder to subscribe to EFD to never miss a video. But as Dougie said before, we're moving on to Juventus as our losers, and this is coming from @QuirkYasDF123VZ. Oh, I did that in one. Proud of that.
Yeah, it was a horrible handle. No, you dealt with that well. But yeah, only Italy could have a losers section based on a side that won the league. But it was very, very deserved, as Juventus continued their end-of-season slump by losing 3-1 at home to Roma. The Bianconeri have won just 3 of their last 7 Serie A games, losing 4, including that demoralising defeat to AC Milan, of course. And Inter ended up, as we said, just 1 point behind the champions, who will be kicking themselves that they didn't capitalise on this really poor restart from this very old Juventus side. It's the first time Juve haven't reached the 90-point tally since 14-15, and with 83 it's their lowest since 2010-11 when AC Milan won the title. On Saturday they actually led Roma after just 5 minutes, with Higuain scoring from a corner after a flick-on from Rabiot. But the loss now means they've dropped 21 points from leading positions in Serie A this season, the most points dropped by a title winner in the competition's history. Ronaldo didn't feature in this game, meaning he didn't have a chance to win the Golden Boot for the first time in Italy, losing out to Immobile this season and Quagliarella the year before, of course. And the shot count, you know, it was sort of fairly even, really. Juve would be disappointed by conceding 12 shots to Roma for 11 in their favour, as well as shots on target with 3 to 6, Roma having the 6. Unsurprisingly, XG levelled out at 1 to 1.9 for Paulo Fonseca's side, who have looked, you know, a little bit sluggish going forward since the restart. So what a win for them. But Oba, attentions will quickly turn to the Champions League for Juve now.
Yeah, definitely. As you mentioned, most of their starters were given a rest before that important game against Lyon on Friday, where they have to overturn a 1-0 deficit at the Groupama Stadium. The main man Ronaldo has only netted twice in the Champions League this season, and if he fails to score and Juve are eliminated, it will be his lowest tally in Europe since 05-06. Wow. So I guess he is aging just a little bit. But yeah, this begs the question, has his transfer and Sarri's appointment been a complete disaster for Juve? Some say yes, some say no. I'm on the fence for this one. I'm not really sure. The old lady now live up to their nickname, as 7 out of their 10 most used players this season are 29 and older. Can an old but incredible Cristiano Ronaldo be the centre of a rebuild again? Never rule him out, as last year he scored one of the best hat-tricks in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid, which sent Juve to the quarterfinals. But also failure to go through would mean for Sarri it's been a huge step backwards, with Pep, Poch, Simeone and Inzaghi having the best odds to come in at the minute. So I don't know, Dougie, what do you reckon? Do you think with their form now, do you think Sarri's on his way out, or do you think he's had a successful season?
I wouldn't really be surprised at all if they didn't get through against Lyon, which I still think they will, whether if Sarri was removed. I don't think Juve have been at the top, you know, pretty much the entire campaign, but they haven't been playing as well as in previous years. And yes, they've had to integrate a whole host of new players into that lineup, and And there's some players that are clearly slightly over the hill, like Higuain, Matuidi as well. Pjanic has not had a good campaign by his own standards. Chiellini's obviously been injured for the whole campaign, so they have had their issues to contend with. But Sarri was known and brought in to sort of lead upturn in their style and their sort of the romantic side of football improving in terms of Juve actually producing football that the fans were really proud of, rather than just the more pragmatic style of Allegri. And has it worked? I wouldn't really say so. But do you need to give Sarri more than 1 year to completely change the philosophy and culture around a club? Probably. So I wouldn't be surprised if they got rid of him, particularly with the strength of those options available. But I can still see them getting through against Lyon, who haven't played since March. And weren't in great form before then either. So it's going to be a massive, massive game this Friday night. And who do you guys think is going to win? We would throw it to a poll, but they don't exist on YouTube anymore, annoyingly. So get in the comments, Juve or Lyon, and give us your reason why. And we'll move on to our final section. So normally we introduce start of the week this week, but we chose not to because there's a bigger bit of news concerning a certain manager that we just mentioned in Mauricio Pochettino. What's going down, Obba?
Yes, the former Spurs manager has hinted that he could be open to managing Barcelona. Obviously, with his links with Espanyol, there was speculation that he said that he'll never manage Barcelona just because of their rivalry. However, he's been out of a job for a few months now. I'm sure he's missing it, and Barcelona is definitely a job that you would want to come back into. The manager job at the Camp Nou has been under a lot of scrutiny this last month. Obviously, they failed to follow through with the title when they were leading after the break, and Quique Setien has failed. He's failed to me anyway. He's failed to win their first successive title, and reports are suggesting that he has to win the Champions League to keep his job. Now that is a tough target to have. However, he has got President Josep Bartomeu on his side. He's been insistent that Setien is going nowhere, and also revealed on the weekend that the club will not make an approach for Neymar this summer. I know Messi will be gutted because he genuinely needs him back. But Barca also have the UCL return to focus on with their crucial last 16-second leg against Napoli happening on Saturday, which is currently tied at 1-1. So could go either way. Napoli are playing quite well at the moment as well, so I know Barca are going to be kind of scared for that one. They will also be without Sergi Busquets and Arturo Vidal, who are both missing through suspension, while Napoli are coming off an impressive 3-1 win over Lazio on the weekend. So Dougie, what are you telling me?
Yeah, I mean, it would be quite a U-turn. I mean, Pochettino did say a few years ago that he'd rather work back on his farm in Argentina than manage Barcelona due to those ties, as you mentioned, with Espanyol, who, of course, he managed prior to Southampton, it was. He now says that he regrets being disrespectful of the club in this way, adding, "You never know what will happen." It's barely a come-and-get-me plea, but it's certainly leaving the door open. And in an interview with Spanish paper El País, he revealed why he made those comments, which came in response to rumours which arose linking him with the Barcelona job after he had dinner after he was seen chatting with Bartomeu in a bar. No dinner, no food was exchanged, just drinks. It was all above the belt.
A few drinks.
And Poch has, of course, as I mentioned, been out of work since November 2019 when he was unceremoniously sacked from Spurs. And while clubs like Man United and Bayern Munich, which previously looked interested in his services, are now delighted with their current managers. He's also reportedly turned down offers from Monaco and Benfica in the last few months. No surprise there. He needs to be targeting a potential Champions League winning club, I would have thought. But at Barcelona, it's widely expected that Xavi will take over at some stage. There's obviously chaos behind the scenes as well. There's a presidential election next year, with Victor Font looking likely to win that, and he wants to bring in Xavi. So I don't know whether Pochettino really wants to start taking over this job just as it looks like there's going to be a complete shift at boardroom level. It would be an already unsettled time as it is. I mean,
really bad. It's a really bad time.
For sure. I mean, Obba, you saw firsthand his work at Spurs. I mean, how highly do you rate Pochettino in terms of the sort of managerial pecking order in the world? Is he up there for you?
Yeah, I think he's definitely up there. I think you can't kind of underestimate what he did at Spurs. He made them a top four and even a title challenging side. And obviously with their last season, he kind of he kind of fell off. I don't know if he lost the dressing room, or there was a few players that didn't want to be at Spurs anymore. May have not been down to him, but just down to their career paths and them wanting to move on. And I think that kind of dented him in a sense, because obviously he hasn't won a trophy yet. He did make a Champions League final, didn't win it. So I think that side of it, you can say maybe he's not got the credibility in terms of winning trophies, but in terms of his philosophy, the man management that you've seen at Spurs, I think he would be quality at Barcelona. I think if you get someone like him that brings in a fresh style of play, just fresh management, because the way it looks now is that Barcelona, they've got quality players. They've had quite a few terrible transfer windows over the last few seasons, and I feel like they need a fresh start. But the way it comes now, even with Xavi being linked, Xavi would be, in terms of history and what he's done as a player for the club, I think he'd be amazing. But he's managing out in China. He's not really got the same experience as Pochettino. So I think Poch should be their number one target, like, honestly. And if he's saying that he's open to coming, go grab him.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's the right manager. I just think it's the wrong time for Pochettino himself. I feel like that job might not go away, and there might be a few other managerial positions that open up this summer. I think Juventus might well open up. Dortmund looks like it wouldn't end up, but I've been pushing it for months. Now. Pochettino at Dortmund would be awesome, I think.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
So let's see. Anyway, guys, let us know where you guys think Pochettino will end up and whether he'll still be unemployed come the start of the new season. Let us know in the comments down below. And that's all we've got time for on this week's ERU, the final ERU of the season. So from next week, just to give you a heads up, we are putting Scout Report on a Monday now, and Transfer Review is coming back on a Thursday. So get excited, because we are hitting the transfers hard this summer. We're really going to pack it in before the new season begins in about 6 weeks. It's absolutely mental. No rest for the players whatsoever. But Oba, what should the good people go and do now?
If they haven't already, go and check out Winners and Losers. I'm sure my beloved Blues are in the losers, or Arsenal in the winners. So go check that out. And also go check out the podcast channel. There's been quite a few good topics on there that I've actually watched through, and they've been quality. So if I enjoy it, I'm sure you will as well. But yeah, apart from that, just like and subscribe.
Absolutely. Have a great Monday, guys. See you later. Bye.
See you later. Bye.